In this video, we're going to discuss how you can learn and develop a pull-up. This exercise will give you more options and control when climbing. We are going to cover the fundamental pull-up and chin-up variations, how you should progress if you already have a pull-up, how you can integrate them into your sessions, and how you can build up to some more advanced pull-up patterns specific to climbing. So if you are looking to improve your pulling strength in various scenarios, want to improve your shoulder positioning when performing a pull-up, develop lock-off strength and more body awareness, then you came to the right place. We're going to give you all the tools you need to improve your lock-offs, dynos, and ability to stay close to the wall. No matter your current level, there's something here for everyone to take their pull-up game to the next level. Before we start talking about pulling ourselves upwards, we should be able to perform the starting position, which is a passive hang. You can develop a passive hang by playing with different foot positions, which will allow you to bring more load towards the hands. If you want more insights on how to develop a passive hang, you can check out this video. The first pull-up variation is one that's accessible for almost everyone. It is a great first step to start your pull-up adventure, and it is an interesting progression to integrate in your warm-up. If you would like more warm-up inspiration, you can always check the link in the description. Attach your chosen object at chest height and take one step back. Grab the rings in a neutral grip and lower yourself down with the shoulders in a retracted and depressed shoulder position. Pull yourself back upwards while maintaining these attention points and bring the chest and rings in contact with each other. Lower yourself in a slow and controlled fashion and fully extend the elbows in the bottom position. Maintain a locked hip position and try to keep the elbows close to your body. Perform 3 to 5 repetitions for about 4 to 5 sets if your goal is to work towards maximal strength. From here, you can build up towards 8 to 12 repetitions for about 3 to 4 sets to build up a general work capacity. You can increase the difficulty by placing the feet underneath the suspension point or even in front. To further progress the variation, you can increase the height of the feet even further. Or you can change from a neutral grip towards a false grip. This is a grip type often used in calisthenics and gymnastics to place the wrists above the rings or bar instead of hanging underneath the suspension point. It will help you to develop a better understanding on how to use your wrists in climbing, which is interesting for when performing different mantle variations. It is also a great starting point for developing your ring muscle up, which we will discuss shortly later in this video. Grab the rings in a false grip and really feel the pressure on your pisiform bone. Lower yourself down as in the ring row and maintain the pressure on this heel of the hand throughout the full motion. Once you reach the bottom position, internally rotate the rings to build a deeper stretch on the tissues in your wrist, forearms, elbows and shoulders. And from here, pull yourself back up with the shoulders again in a depressed and retracted position. Also progress this variation by changing up the foot positioning. These variations will definitely help you with the pulling action when building towards a pull-up and a chin-up. But when looking at a climbing specific scenario, we almost never see a perfect symmetrical pull-up. An exercise we can use to make this more aimed at the unilateral nature of climbing while we also are training our core strength is called a single arm row. Stand again in the same position as your basic ring row variation, but hold the ring with only one arm. Lower yourself in a slow and eccentric fashion with the shoulder still in this retracted and depressed position, and once your elbow is fully elongated, rotate your chest open and try to touch the floor behind you. From here, reverse the motion and bring your chest back in contact with the ring. Repeat on the other side, and then there are 2 ways to increase the difficulty. On the one hand, you can place your feet further forward and repeat the same motion, or you can detach one foot from the floor to challenge your stability. Start with the easier contralateral variation and progress to a more challenging ipsilateral variation where you have to engage your center even more, replicating a situation where you have to control a barn door. These variations all have a great transfer to climbing, but there is one big problem, and that is that they are all horizontal pull-in patterns. They will definitely improve your climbing ability in various situations, but they won't transfer 100% towards the vertical pulling action as in a correct pull-up. To really start developing a full pull-up or chin-up, we need to start by building a scapular pull-up. This is the position that allows us to go from a passive hang towards an active hang, where you are going from a shoulder elevation towards a shoulder depression, bringing your shoulders in the optimal shoulder position to start your pulling motion. You can perform this exercise with your feet on the floor if you would not be able to work from a free hang yet. Always try to keep the rib cage closed if possible, and once you have gained the understanding in this position, you can already start a full pull-up and chin-up motion by again using a foot support. But why do we want to develop a pull-up and a chin-up? Are pull-ups not more climbing specific? From a general sense, it's always interesting to add more variation in our practice. Climbing specifically, we are in more circumstances directing our palm towards the wall, making the pull-up more suitable for climbing. The benefit of developing a chin-up is that it's for many people easier to acquire because there is more demand of the chest muscles, bicep and elbow flexors in general. It will also have a better transfer to underclings in climbing and to a ring muscle up where your palms are facing towards you. The pull-up demands more of the back muscles and the pronated grip can put more strain on the shoulders, especially if there's any pre-existing weakness or lack of mobility in the shoulder joint. In this video we will give attention to both, but if you are new, start with the chin-ups and progress with the pull-up variations. Start from the top position of a chin-up while supporting yourself with the feet on an object. Make sure to keep your rings at chest height and slowly lower yourself down while maintaining the foot support. Once you reach the lowest position, fully lower yourself down from the active hang towards the passive hang. From here, reverse the motion and pull yourself up again by pushing through the legs. The next step is to perform a full negative portion of the motion. Use your elevation again and bring yourself in the top position of a pull-up. Hold it shortly and lower yourself in a slow and controlled way again from your active towards a passive hang and repeat the motion. If holding the upper position would be difficult, you can integrate an isometric support in the top position. Here, our chin over the bar or rings is a minimum acceptable height and you can work towards 30 to 60 second holds with both hand positions. So if you are able to perform 5 quality scapular pull-ups, 5 negative body weight reps with your shoulders in the correct position, and you are able to hold the top position isometrically, then your chin-up or pull-up will come sooner or later. Let's say you have practiced this for a few weeks, then you can just give it a go. It might not look pretty in the beginning, but you can use a little jump to start. But if you're able to perform one and then focus on the slow eccentric lowering, more will follow. You can start by practicing this once a week and build up towards twice a week. If your time allows it, you can pair it with a bent arm pushing pattern like a regular push-up, or you can choose a more complex pattern that is in line with your personal goals and interests. The moment that you build that first pull-up or chin-up, many people have the tendency to work towards an infinite amount of repetitions or just start adding load. These are definitely strategies to progress and overload the pattern, but there are many complex pulling patterns we can use as an alternative. The most important thing is to maintain quality over quantity. A first pattern we can explore is one that we also conditioned in our passive hang and allows us to build up towards more complex one-arm variations. If you already have a chin-up and pull-up installed, it's easy to build towards a switch grip pull-up. From here, you can lower one ring and combine the pulling pattern with a pushing pattern. Continue lowering the ring to increase the intensity and always try to bring the chest bone in contact with the ring or bar. Another way to bring this complexity into our pulling pattern is to replicate this mantling shape where you rotate over. Use one ring for this variation and start on the bottom position of a row with a supinated grip. Lift one leg and pull yourself upwards while you rotate your body towards the side that you lifted. Repeat for both sides and progress the exercise by performing the same rotation with one arm. This time you rotate towards the side of the leg that stays on the floor. Perform 5 repetitions per side and make the exercise harder by lowering the ring's height. For our second and last variation, we're going to take our false grip again and perform a pull-up from this position. Start with the internal rotation and pull yourself upwards. Once you reach the top position, you can stack the fists upon each other and, just as in the previous variation, maintain the depression and the retraction. This is the starting point of your ring muscle up, which we will fully cover in another video. For now, you can already start by combining it with a ring dip, and we will discuss the transition towards a full muscle up later. For our final variation, we're not going to change the hand position anymore, but we're going to change your leg position with an L-sit pull-up. You can just immediately perform the full variation with a 90-degree bend in the hip, or you can build up towards it with a tucked variation. To make this harder, you can lift the legs with a tuck position for the concentric phase and lower with an L-sit in the eccentric phase. So these were just a few pull-up variations. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more movement insights to further improve your climbing.